Hey, welcome back World Entertainment and the review for episode 6 of Ahsoka. Did the Anakin story turn out to be something more than it should have been? Did it install a brand new direction for the story? Was it everything that they said it would be? Hell no, it wasn't. Not just does it not move the story forward or anything like that, they don't even mention Anakin. They don't even show the Anakin stuff in the recap of the previous episode. So, what is the episode 6? What is it? It's basically toys and merchandise, the episode. That's all it is. Yes, we finally, after 6 grueling episodes, we get Thrawn for less than 10 minutes. The episode starts with Ahsoka and Huang in the ship inside the whale in hyperspace. They're talking nonsense. She never mentions anything about seeing Anakin or anything like that. They're just talking nonsense. Huang says he has all the stories that she used to like to hear. Does she want to hear anything? She says no, and he says maybe you could tell me a story. And she says, the one thing I didn't tell her and stuff is that Sabine willingly gave the map to Balin. And they're like, oh. And then she changes the subject and says, oh, okay, oh, maybe I do want to hear one of your stories. And how does he begin the story before we get the opening title of Ahsoka? He says a Star Wars. He says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, I'm not joking about that either. Oh, Jesus Christ. My head hurts from watching this crap. I'm sure you all have to have seen by now the shill reactions to the last episode and then them trying to defend Dave Filoni. Oh my god. I wonder how they're going to cope with this episode. So that's it. That's all we have of Ahsoka in this episode. Was that opening bit in the space whale. We then go to Morgan, Balin, and Shin and Sabine on the space donut in hyperspace. The one thing this episode truly establishes is that Sabine is a functioning retard. I kid you not. So she's in a cell, handcuffed still. Balin walks up to the door, looks in. She's all giving an attitude, oh, I wanted a room with a view. And then she's like, hey, we had a deal, right? And Balin kind of grins and walks off. And she's like, starts screaming at him, like, hey, we have a deal. It's like, oh, you actually thought the bad guy was going to keep his end of the bargain. That's retard number one. There's more. They drop out. Oh, wait till you hear this. They drop out of hyperspace. Morgan looks at the planet that they see, says the name of the planet, and says, that's the planet my ancestors come from. Straight away, all I can think of, hang on. Your ancestors, your people came from this planet. So you know off the planet, you know the stories, everything else. How the fuck did you not know where it was? Why did you need this map to find where your fucking ancestors are from? Real fucking retarded. And it turns out it's got like one of the rings around the planet. The rings are made up of the carcasses of the space whales. They come to this planet to die. That's right. Ahsoka's hitching a ride on an animal on its way to die. But they pick up a beacon. They fly down. Morgan, Shin, Balin, and they bring Sabine. They fly down, and guess what? They get to land on one of the same type of fucking things. What do you call them? But the things with the stones and shit. I can't think of the names. That were on the planet that they were originally on. Now we get an episode of Balin standing around on a different planet on the same fucking thing. Except there's 3 Night Sisters there. And they say, oh yeah, we knew you were to come, blah blah blah. And they were like, right, where's Thrawn? And they're like, he's coming, don't worry. They sense, if I remember correctly, they said jealousy. So I can't remember. But I think she says jealousy. And they're looking at Sabine, and Sabine's kind of like confused. They're holding 3 little balls that are like the map. Flies around her, ties her up, brings her downstairs. As she's being brought downstairs, Vis is retard number 2 with Sabine. She turns around to Balin and starts shouting, "Where's Ezra? You promised I would see Ezra. Where is he? Dumb bitch. He was in the same galaxy as fucking you. He doesn't even know who Ezra is. How the hell is he supposed to know where Ezra is?" Good Christ. And of course, while she's locked up, she tries to use the Force again. And she thinks it's starting to work, except it's a ship coming in behind them. A big Star Destroyer. Just before all that happens, though, Balin's having a conversation with Shin about the Jedi Order and the fall of it and stuff like that. And then, as I said, we go to Sabine trying to use the Force. And a ship comes in. It's a Star Destroyer. They're all shocked to see the Star Destroyer, which didn't come down from the atmosphere. It was just flying straight towards them across this vast openness. And I'm like, how the fuck did no one notice that thing coming towards you? Not one of them noticed it. But it flies over. It's beaten to shit. Like, there's holes in it. You name it. It's in tatters. Pulls up over the structure they're up on. It comes down into the hangar bay, and then we just see a shit ton of stormtroopers, and we get stormtrooper number 1 of merchandise. He turns, and the face of the helmet of the stormtrooper isn't the stormtroopers. It's like this gold actual face in it. It looks stupid, but you know they're just doing it for merchandise. All the stormtroopers look run down. They look beaten to shit. They're all chanting Tron, Tron, and Tron comes walking out. And he has a bit of a conversation with them, and they talk about the fact that the prisoner Sabine was brought. He's like, right. Goes, meets her. She's straight up like, oh look, it's dipshit Tron. Where's Ezra? He's like, I've heard of the whereabouts. We'll let you go. And this is where the episode gets stupid again. The whole episode is fucking stupid. This is where it gets just as stupid. They're going to let Sabine go out on this planet to try and find Ezra. In doing so, they give her a great big space doggy. This thing is a big space dog, and that's exactly what it is. She's walking up. It's like 3 stormtroopers, 2 of the normal ones, and this one with the gold face, who's Fran's second in command or something. He says his name, I can't remember his name, don't care. You notice she has the Beskar armor on again. And they go ahead and hand her all of her weapons. Here's your guns, here's your lightsaber. And then he's like, good dying or some shit like that. And you're like, there's only 3 of you and you've just given this bitch back her armor, her guns, and a lightsaber. And of course she just rides out. As she rides out, Thrawn is up on this balcony with Balin, Shin, and Morgan, and tells Balin, track her, and if she finds Ezra, kill both of them. And Shin turns to Balin and says, I thought you were going to honour your promise. And Thrawn responds by saying he has. He told her he'd let her see him again. She may do it or may not, but they're going to destroy them. They bugger off chasing them. She gets ambushed by these fucking morons, basically. And the reason this is another part of retarded Asian on film. So she gets ambushed. Sabine gets ambushed by these robot looking thingies. I think they're people put in these suits who keep shooting her in the chest and stuff where she's wearing the Beskar armor. Which, by the way, when the fuck did Beskar armor become impenetrable to everything? It basically, all you have to do is stick a suit of that on and you're fucking invincible. But they're shooting her, and there's like 7 of them or something jumping at her. And all I keep thinking as they're trying to shoot her is, why don't you just shoot her in the fucking head? They're shooting her in the arms, they're shooting at her guns, they're shooting her in the chest. Head is wide open, it's like, just shoot her in the head. She drops one of the guns, she pulls out the lightsaber and starts chopping them all up. And her dog fucked off. Then we just get her wandering through the wilderness with the dog following behind her, and she's giving out the dogs like, hey, you abandoned me, blah blah blah, you're a wimp. Ends up forgiving the doggy, gets on the doggy day right off, looking for Ezra. I'm telling you, this is all this fucking episode is. She comes into this little rocky area. The dog's sniffing around. The dog walks over and starts drinking. And she's like, is that what you wanted? You were thirsty. He starts sniffing around the rock. She's like, it's a rock, you're embarrassing yourself. The dog licks the rock and the rock jumps up and it's a little person in the rock. More merchandise. It's like now we have the gold face stormtrooper, the rundown stormtroopers with red on their uniforms, the fucking space doggies, and now we got these things, these little turtle looking fucking yokes. And the little turtle thing freaks out because he sees the rebellion symbol on Sabine's arm. He pulls out, he's wearing a necklace with the symbol. She obviously knows, oh, you must know Ezra. It whistles or something and all the rocks stand up and they're all these little things and bring her off. Then Balin and Shin arrive to see the aftermath of what Sabine did with the people who ambushed her. They're having a bit of a conversation. Shin is asking, like, you know, is this Ezra a Jedi? Like, was he part of the temple and shit? And he's like, no, he's too young. He was kind of trained around like you, or around your time. She's like, oh, like me. And he goes, no, not like you. He was trained as a Jedi. I've trained you to be something else. And then she asks him, do you miss it? And he's like, the temple? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, I missed the idea of it, but they were weak and blah blah blah. And then they're about to get ambushed. Shin sees there's 4 or 5 of the weird people up on the cliff, and he's like, no, don't put your saber away. Our enemy of our enemy is our friend for now. Then we go back and Sabine walks into a little village with the little turtle people, and there's fucking hundreds of these little turtle people. She tells the dog to stay. She's looking around. She's all happy watching them all walk around, and then she looks up and Ezra is there. Yes, she finds Ezra. Ezra's in the episode and he's all delighted. Doesn't happen to say, hey, how the fuck did you get here? All he says is, you took your time. They hug it out and he's like, how did you get here? And she's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that now. Let me just be happy for now. And he's like, okay, I can't wait to get home. And she's all kind of like, uh-oh. And then we get our how the episode closes out. And it's Thrawn talking with Morgan. The Night Sisters come up and say, hey, our fucking senses are telling us something's approaching and it's a Jedi. And he's like, hey, could that be the recently deceased Ahsoka? Morgan's like, that's impossible. Balin told me he killed her, knocked her off the cliff. And he's like, oh, well, we won't assume anything, blah, blah, blah. Just go up there and kill everything. Oh, by the way, Thrawn earlier said, like, told Morgan, yeah, we're going to kill Sabine and Ezra, whether it's actually killing them or just leaving them here. And he says, and that goes for your 2 as well. So he doesn't care about Balin and Shin. But that's it. That's where the episode ends. It's like, wow. There's less than 10 minutes of Thrawn in this episode. Why he's such a threat makes no sense. He's got a run down, beaten the shit Star Destroyers. Like, you just drop out of hyperspace in that thing, the New Republic could just wipe you out. No problem. There's nothing that this thing can do. Balin senses something out in this fucking vast wilderness, and I'm like, oh my god, are they pulling it to he's gonna find the Emperor? Is that how are they gonna try and fill in the actual stupidity of the Emperor coming back, and he's gonna find Palpatine? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. You can see there's probably a turn. One of them two, either Shin or him, are gonna flip and be good. You can already see it. It's the groundwork has been laid. You can see it's gonna happen. One of them is probably gonna betray the other or something. But other than that, there you go. There's your episode. A filler episode. Boring as fuck. Thrawn, whatever. Just throw away. Shit, even Dave Filoni. If anyone's seen Mauler's new video on Ahsoka, highly recommend you check it out. But he found and was sent a clip that he added into the end of it of Dave Filoni in an interview where he basically says these characters that he uses are toys that you play with for a short time before he gives you the next toy. So his idea of Thrawn is, oh no. There you go, there's Thrawn. Now play with him for a little while and then we'll give you a new character. That's all Thrawn is then in this show, is a throwaway character. And he's clearly going to have to die by the end of it. Show sucks. And as I said, absolutely no mention or reflection or anything on the Anakin stuff. Oh, so it was literally key jangling in front of me. Oh, make it end, please. Only 2 episodes left. But anyway, with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.